Hello! I have a camera! Ta-da! This is my first time filming on a camera instead of on my iPhone. So I got the Canon EOS M50 Mark II, and this is my first time. Well, okay, I used it a couple days ago to test it out, and I filmed a little tea party that I had with myself. Well, Gavin helped me. He filmed it because we didn't have a tripod for it yet, so he was holding the camera while I was, I don't know, partaking in the tea party, just to see what the camera was like. And I mean, it's so different than a phone, so that's cool. So last night I was watching Howl's Moving Castle. I was watching it with some friends who've never seen it before, and that's kind of like the best. That's the best when I get to show somebody a Studio Ghibli film for the first time. And they loved it. Well, one of them loved it. The other one is like, the other one will never know. He'll never say, he'll never say if he really likes a movie unless it's like an acclaimed film. Maybe that's not true, but that's how it feels sometimes. I have always been inspired by Studio Ghibli and the hand-painted backgrounds, and I was just thinking more and more about how I would love to do some kind of watercolor in the style of Studio Ghibli, just to kind of revive my creativity. I used to paint and draw so much, and then I became an art teacher, and I stopped because I was so burnt out all the time. And if I was drawing or painting anything, it was an example for my students to see and to kind of follow along with me with something. So that's kind of the only way I was kind of expressing myself artistically. So that was the past 4 years. And then last year, I left my teaching job and I got to kind of remember what it's like to create for myself again in a way that I haven't done in a long time. I feel like before I was a teacher, I was creating art for my college classes. So even then, I never really had a time where I could just kind of make art for the purpose of making it, and to make art for myself and to kind of find what I really love to make. I was kind of random with how I created art. And the past year I have been doing a lot of embroidery because I got really inspired by embroidery artists that I saw online, and I really wanted to partake. So I did, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. But also I love drawing, painting, sculpting, and I just want to get inspired again. So here we are. In front of me, I've got Dürer. I think there's one painting. Oh, this one. I think it's a painting. Yeah. It says, "Great piece of turf." Yeah, this guy. This is the one. I remember looking at this one in college and being like, heck yeah. That's just a bunch of weeds. I think my professor said that he just went outside and grabbed that chunk of weeds and just plopped it down in the studio to paint it, which is awesome. Love that. The other book I have is The Art of Spirited Away. My friend got me this for Christmas, either Christmas or my birthday, I forget. But I was looking online a few minutes ago thinking like, I just really want to have a board, like a Pinterest board full of the watercolor backgrounds. And then I remembered I have the literal book that I can look at, like, it's upside down, but it's just full of the concept art and the backgrounds and the character designs, and it's gorgeous. So I've got these resources that I'm going to pull from. And then I think the most aesthetically pleasing, or at least recently what I've been looking at as the most aesthetically pleasing kind of stills is Kiki's Delivery Service. I'm gonna pull some ideas from that as well and go from there. Yeah, that's my plan. Over the past months, I have gone to my parents' house. We had a little patch of the meadow in my parents' yard that was left to get tall, and there were some buttercups, and it was really beautiful, and it reminded me of a Studio Ghibli film in a sense of just like laying down in that field. So I would lay down in the field, and then sometimes I would film it and just see what it looked like to try and get some, what's it called? Just to try and get some imagery to base some artwork off of. I'm gonna start sketching out what I want this to look like. I think one thing that's definitely across a lot of Studio Ghibli animation backgrounds and kind of the style that I see a lot is that the sky is taking up more space than the land and the clouds are really epic. So even though in my picture that I am using as a reference there's not so many clouds, I think I am going to put some really chunky clouds in here as like a callback. So it is day 3. This has been a very busy weekend, so I've only been able to put a little bit of time each day in the painting. It's nice though because then I can take my time and it forces me to step back and then look at it again with a different perspective each day. So that's cool. I'm gonna work on the grass details, the tree details, and then some of the face. And then maybe a couple more layers, and then that's it. When you played it, they ran towards me. Is it gonna cook them?
They'll be fine. This way. There you go. There you go.
Oh, they're looking.
There you go.
They don't tall enough to climb.
There they are.
I think they can get in. I think they're going for it.
Come on. Hop.
They can use the ramp. Hey guys. Hi.
At least they're not all roosters. Imagine if they were all roosters.
Yeah, that'd be sad. Alright, this is what I have so far. And I really like it. I think the only thing I would have done differently is use a marker. That way it would have had a really fine point, really fine lines. And I definitely like the way this looks though. I think the chunky lines are definitely interesting and they're fun. I was looking at a lot of Studio Ghibli screen caps and especially Kiki's delivery service when she's like laying on that hill. There's just something really beautiful about the way everything is lined. I wanted to have that idea in this as well. I spent a lot of time outlining the buttercups, like almost all of them. I like the way that turned out a lot. I've been using this colored pencil and you can see that he's getting sharpened a lot because he's way shorter than all the other colored pencils in his group. Poor little guy. It has to be really sharp and fine to get these lines, and even then I would want it to be even sharper. So I think I need to invest in a brown, very fine marker or pen. That would be great to try out next time, because I really like the look of this kind of reddish brown outline for everything. It's really satisfying. Right, so now I'm gonna work on the tree and my face. And then that's pretty much it, so that's cool. Almost done, haha. So here is how the finished product turned out, and I'm happy with it. I will say that looking at it, I don't think anyone would say, oh, that looks like Studio Ghibli inspired, but I did use Studio Ghibli artwork to inspire me in some of the design style and some of the techniques, as well as the subject matter. So this is what this is what came out, and it was fun. I had a good time. So here it is, my inspirations once more. We've got Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Dürer. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Why'd you do that? Hey! Rude.
Woodloo, woodloo, the life of Rosalind is the